Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Whoa. Whoa. Wrestling. I didn't say resting. I said wrestling. Wrestling. It has nothing to do with resting. Wrestling. Not resting. Wrestling. Boxing. Tennis. Badminton. Pickleball. Not resting, Okay. Keep working on it. It's not resting. Resting would be sitting in the chair quietly resting. No. Wrestling, what is wrestling? It's a sport involving two people who are struggling to press the other person onto the ground and pin him back, and then he wins the wrestling contest. To wrestle is to struggle with someone to the point of trying to keep them down on the ground. You've probably seen somewhere a wrestling match. Two people wrestling each other. But it's not resting. It's wrestling. Boxing. Have you ever seen a boxing match?
Yes.
Boxing? Two people, instead of wrestling with each other, they're boxing. Boom, boom. Boxing match. You would have a wrestling match and a boxing match. A matchup, two people going against each other in this particular sport or in this particular sport. The boxing champion of the day and all that. Tennis. Is tennis popular in Thailand?
Yes.
Yeah, tennis. Two people. Tennis racket. The tennis racket. Shoot, shoot, shoot. You see it on TV all the time. A tennis match. Hitting over the net. The net. Tennis. A lot of people enjoy playing tennis. A lot of people enjoy playing badminton. It's kind of like tennis on a smaller scale. And also, in tennis you use a tennis ball. But in badminton, because it's a smaller field or area, you would have the net, and it would be a lot smaller than a tennis court, C-O-U-R-T. They use a little thing that they call shuttlecock. And it kind of floats in the air, and in badminton you would boop, boop, boop. It's not a tennis thing where whack, and it goes 100 miles an hour. No, the shuttlecock kind of floats over and back, over and back. I can see where it would be quite popular in Thailand. It's a smaller space, and it's boop, 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 that type of thing. badminton, pickleball.
Now we have
What?
Temple World, the world champion tennis in Thailand. Daddy.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh.
Badminton.
What's the dog?
Lives in Thailand?
Yes.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Tennis, very popular in Thailand. World's #1, right here. No problem. Pickleball.
No, she play badminton.
Well,
That girl.
Badminton.
oh, badminton or tennis?
Badminton.
Badminton. The world's #1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Champion
In
world.
badminton.
Badminton.
Well, there you have it.
Champion.
It must be very popular in Thailand if the best player in the world happens to be right here.
Girl.
That's not by accident.
Last month.
Last month.
Last month.
Young.
Congratulations.
Young girl.
Good for her. Shuttlecock. Badminton. Smaller field. Over the net. Pickleball. Tennis. On a smaller scale. Instead of a rubber ball, the ball in pickleball is plastic. Plastic. The racket that you hit it with is smaller than the tennis racket. The court that you play pickleball on is smaller than the regular tennis court. So it's all a much smaller game. It's very popular in America with people of a certain age because it doesn't require a lot of running around. You can pretty much stand in a couple of places and play pickleball.
Oh, pickleball, ping pong.
For the older group.
Pickleball is table tennis.
No, it's not, it's like table tennis, but it's not played on a table. Table tennis is played with a net, well, it's tennis on a table is what it is. It's a ping pong, right? Ping pong. And so it's on a table. But pickleball is like table tennis or ping pong, but it's played on a court. But on a smaller court than a tennis
Train the
court.
court have a net.
Yeah, has a net, yeah, everything is like tennis, except it's on a smaller court. It's not a rubber ball, it's a plastic ball. It doesn't go as far or as fast as a regular tennis ball. So it's popular with people of a certain age that are not, able to run around all over. They can pretty much stay in one place and kind of hit the ball back. It's like table tennis without the table.
ลูกปิงปองลูกปิงปอง
Pickleball that is
Table tennis without the table, if that's possible.
ไม่ใช่ที่บนโต๊ะ
table top.
Wrestling, we can see that, right? Boxing.
ไม่มีเน็ตใช่ไหม
Boxing,
Wrestling.
tennis, whack, move.
ตรงนี้ไม่เคยเห็น
Badminton, the same thing with a small thing that floats over and back, badminton. And pickleball, like tennis, but with a plastic ball, smaller racket, and a smaller
ไอ้นี่เรา
ball.
ไม่เคยเห็น
So can we say that sumo is a kind of wrestling? Can we say
In
that?
Japan.
I'll let you say that, but only you. No, yeah. Yes, it's sumo wrestling it's basically a Japanese version of wrestling, where these huge wrestlers, they're gigantic, really, a lot of them, and they get into this big wrestling match, and it's known as sumo wrestling. Yeah, it's very popular in Japan. I don't know if they have it here. I know they don't have it in the United States. They have wrestling, but it's not with these, guys walking around like that. But you can say, sumo is a type or a kind of wrestling. Sumo wrestling, as opposed to regular wrestling.
Teacher, people who play wrestling are fat people.
Well, no. Sumo wrestlers are very large people.
Slash.
And you were saying they take part in wrestling, they don't actually play wrestling. You want to say that they participate in wrestling or they take part in, but they don't play wrestling. You play baseball, you play football, you play tennis, but you don't play boxing and you don't play wrestling. You take part in, you participate in a boxing match, but you don't play it. That word doesn't kind of fit there. But you can play badminton, pickleball, tennis, but you participate in wrestling, you take part in wrestling, and you take part in a boxing match. You don't necessarily play a boxing match. It's usually for real. Ka-bop, ka-boom.
Boxing in football sometimes.
Yeah. It happens.
The wrestlingแล้วแหละ
in Thailand.
Well, that's interesting that the #1 badminton player is from here.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Badminton. Someone said badminton. Not badminton.
Badminton, yeah, right. Okay, pretty good.
Batman. Where?
Okay. Okay. The young student was very active in sports at her high school. The young student was very active in sports at her high school. In the fall of the year, she was a member of the cross-country team. And in the spring, she played softball on the school's varsity team. Varsity team. Oh, he did not say varsity. He said varsity. Varsity. Again, the V sound is not W. It is not varsity. Varsity. No, it's varsity team. The young student was very active in sports at her high school. In the fall of the year, she was a member of the cross-country team. And in the spring, she played softball on the school's varsity team. Go ahead.
The young student was very active in sport at her high school. In the fall of the year, she was a member of the cross-country team, and in the spring, she played on the school's varsity team.
Yeah, very good. Softball on the school's varsity team. Go ahead.
The young student was very active in sports at the high school. In the fall of the year, she was a member of the cross-country team, and in the spring, she played softball on the school's varsity team.
Yeah, she played softball. On the school's varsity team. She was very active in sports. Sports. Go ahead.
The young student was very active in sports at the high school. At her high school. In the fall of the year, she was a member of the cross-country team, and in the spring, she played softball on the school's varsity
Yes. Wow. The school's varsity team. Varsity team. Go ahead.
The young student was very active in sport at her high school. In the fall of the year, she was a member of the cross-country team, and in the spring, she played football on the school's varsity team.
Softball. Somehow, maybe it looks like football, but it's softball. I don't know. You decide, but to me it looks like softball. Okay. Go ahead.
The young student was very active in sports at her high school. In the fall of the year, she was a member of the cross-country team, and in the spring, she played softball on the school's varsity team.
Varsity
team.
Oh, like, think of it like far city. Well, it's not far city, but it's far city. It's almost like far city, In some places, you could almost get away with saying varsity, but varsity. But it sounds like far city. Okay, go ahead.
The young student was very active in sports at her high school. In the fall of the year, he was a member of cross-country team, and in the spring, she played softball on the school's varsity team.
Yeah, on the school's varsity team. The young student was very active in sports at her high school. In the fall of the year, she was a member of the cross-country team, and in the spring, she played softball on the school's varsity team. Go ahead.
The young student was very active in sports. At her high school, in the fall of the year, she was a member of the cross-country team, and in the spring, she played softball on the school varsity team.
Yeah, the school's varsity team. She was a member of the team, of the cross-country team. Go ahead.
The young student was very active in sports at her high school. In the fall of the year, she was a member of the cross-country team, and in the spring, she played softball on the school's varsity team.
The bar city team. It is a V sound. It is not varsity, it is varsity. Big difference. Go ahead.
The young student team was very active in sports at her high school. In the fall of the year, she was a member of the cross-country team, and in the spring, she played softball on the school's varsity
team. Very good. Go ahead.
The young student was very active in sports at her high school. In the fall of the year, she was a member of the cross-country team. And in the spring, she played softball on the school's varsity team.
And she played softball on the school's varsity team.